Hey all! What the end will be. Don't you love the Pride Playbill? Playbill does that for all Pride Month, for all the shows. Anybody that doesn't like it, well, see your way out, okay? All right, this was my first play of this trip seeing, and I'm got to tell you about the cool thing that happened, and then we'll tell you about the show because I didn't know anything about the show, and the only advertised was that I knew that there was three black men, and that it was a generational thing, that there was an older and a middle aged and a young. That's all I knew. And so as the play's going, and I didn't read my playbill because the whole glasses and my mask fogs up my glasses and all of that stuff. Dr. Kim Ireland's going to fix that soon. Yay! Shout out to St. Luke's Eye Care, the best. Anyway, and then and Max, who's the lead, he's the son, not the grandson. And I'm gonna clear this up in a minute. But he refers to his husband, and he's white. Well, then the husband walks out, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Justin from Queer as Folk. Not the current one, the one that ran a while back that I would know, the one that was filmed in Toronto. Randy Harrison is his name. Excuse me. And he was in Queer as Folk. And here he is. And he did do a short stint as Buck in Wicked. And I just happened to see that back when Wicked. But anyway, that was a long time ago. But here's Justin. And I loved that show, Queer as Folk. When the play is over, I'm going to get dinner. And I was very emotional. And I'm trying to put my mind on other stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. At that same theater, the Laura Pels Theatre, which is Roundabout Theater. It's off Broadway. It's not right in the heart, but it's still, I had to walk a little ways. Anyway, good for me. I years ago saw, what's his name? Harold, what's his name? But anyway, the guy that played Brian Kinney in Queer as Folk. And Brian Kinney and Justin were a couple the whole series long. I mean, the whole show was about them. Well, yeah, kind of. Anyway, and I'm thinking, okay, I saw him. It was in a play with Blythe Danner. It was called Suddenly Last Summer. Elizabeth Taylor did the movie years ago. Really kind of weird, sci-fi horror type psychological thriller play. Really good. And I'm like, that was at that theater. That was at that theater. How weird is that? So of course I get home, look at my spreadsheet. Yes, I keep a spreadsheet of every Broadway show, the date, and the theater. I'm nerd. Okay. I don't know why I put in my glasses. That was so wrong. Anyway, sorry. Yes, that's the theater. I've been in that theater twice, and those two guys both were there, and they were in Queer as Folk, and I find that really, really wild. Okay, I mean, because these guys don't do a lot of shows. They don't do a lot of Broadway. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about what the end will be. All right, here's what you need to know. Bart, older, grandfather. He just got out of the hospital. He's living with his son Max, who is a very successful attorney. These are in Atlanta. This is current day. And Max has brought him into the home. He's paid for everything. He's redone a whole bedroom and a bathroom for Bart. Bart is very, very sick. The home health care lady comes in, Chloe, and you find out that Bart is really, really, really sick and has cancer, lies about his pain, lies about how he's doing, and it's bad. And Max says, and Bart's an old, black, southern man who is gay and carries his dead lover's boxer shorts around with him and misses his lover. And Max is gay. But Max says no being racist and no dying. Then we meet Tony. Tony's Max's son. He's the grandson. Alpha male kid, 18 years old, good-looking guy. There's a joke about his girlfriend and all of that. There's noise. Anyway, stuff happens. Then there's noise upstairs. Tony is sneaking this kid, Antoine, out of the house. Antoine is about the most flamboyant that, I mean, it makes me look like an alpha straight male, okay? I mean, this kid has got the makeup and the shoes and the stuff. And they meet him and he's there. And I love this part. Bart, the grandfather, who's already being accused of being racist. When he meets Antoine, he says, is there a pronoun that you prefer I use in addressing you? How hard is it? I mean, this kid's obviously different, right? And What's wrong with just asking? Hey, what do you ask? What do you prefer? That's respect. Anyway, you find out that Max, the son, the lawyer, he's a lawyer, is pretty much on the DL, down low. And he's not out at work with the big law firm that he's a partner of, or works at, and all this. And he's got this white husband, and they're fighting. And there's normal stuff. And so then you find out that all three are gay, right? The grandfather, the son, and the grandson. They're all gay. And they're black men, which is a lot harder. And it deals with a lot of those issues. Max, the lawyer, through the first 2/3 of the play, this is a 90-minute play, is downing alcohol. And his husband, played by Randy Harrison, has a problem with it. And you can tell this man has a problem. He's getting a problem. And there's a scene where they talk about him being so drunk and being aggressive and mean, and that his husband left for a weekend and stayed at a hotel. He's coming out. He's a real alpha male, and he doesn't like that Tony, his son, has a very flamboyant boyfriend. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like the swishing, sissy, faggot, and that's the word they use, stuff. And through it all, Bart is getting worse, the grandfather. And he's sad, and he's sick, and he's in pain. And I'm going to spoil this for you guys, because it's very rare that you'll see it unless we get somebody to do it. And not in Lake County. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I shouldn't be like that. Some other stuff have happened today that made me bitter. Bart, the grandfather, has applied for special medicine. That is a way of putting you to sleep for good. And he gets approved. And when Max, his son, finds out, he's like, oh, hell no. No. The grandson accidentally finds out, who's just turned 18, by the way, and is an adult. And he kind of accidentally finds out, and he comes and he confronts his grandfather, and he says, okay. And Chloe, the home healthcare person, is there. And Randy, what is his character name? He plays Max's husband. What is it? Charles, that's right. Because Tony calls him DC, Daddy Charles. Is supportive. Max won't accept it. And Bart finally has this scene in a wheelchair where he has to describe his pain and his life and why he wants to die. Some powerful acting. By the way, I didn't know it again until I got home and was looking through the playbill. It was played by George Bennett Watson, the understudy, tonight. Normally it's played by Keith Randolph Smith. So I had no idea until I got home. It's a tough show. There's alcoholism and there's the fact of getting older, disease, sick, now suicide, and over top of it we're talking about 3 gay black men, which is very challenging. So it was a roller coaster of a play for 90 minutes. He dies. He's reunited with his husband. We get to see that. Bart does. some time has passed and we see them. It's not long after the funeral, because all this takes place at Thanksgiving, and now you can tell it's the holidays. And here's Max, the lawyer, out to his people at the firm. Got a bonus because he checks more diversity boxes now. He's drinking water, and there are those looks over at where the alcohol is. I know those looks very well. I almost stepped into a bar tonight before the show. I didn't do it. Still sober. But this guy's sober, and he talks to his son Tony, and he lets him know he loves him. Well, then Antoine comes in to pick Tony up to take him to dinner, and they have a beautiful moment of acceptance. At the end, it's just Max and his son Tony. Tony asks his dad, "Are you okay?" And he says, "I'm not." And his son, Tony, says, "Neither am I, Dad." And they sit down together and they go, "But we'll get through it." And so it ends very positively. We're going to get through it. So stuff happens. It's life. Wow, this video is long, but this play had a lot in it. Hope you stuck with me. Hope you enjoyed it. What the end will be, yeah, I just ruined it all for you, but it's only running for a few more weeks. I encourage you to see it if you can, and if not, get the message of diversity, get the message of being kind to people and meeting them where they want to be met. Wow. I'm going to put that in my comments. Maybe to me that's what this play was about. Meeting people where they want to be met. Alright, hope you enjoyed this Theater Talk with Scott. Bye.